Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's my real pleasure to be able to welcome you here today.
Well, today we will have the 7th edition of the Microfinance Lunch Break, and as you know, we alternate the subject between, on one hand, microfinance, on the other hand, microinsurance. Today we have a microinsurance topic, and we have Mathews, who will do a presentation on how the distribution towards poor people can be organized in order to get them acquainted with insurance.
Well, I think it probably is appropriate to start with, should insurance be sold to poor people? What is the purpose of insurance in the life of the poor or of the working poor? I'm talking about distribution, which is where the customer is actually being introduced to the product. And this is the critical moment of truth, because while only a fraction of customers will ever make a claim, every one of them experiences the purchase of the product or the receipt of the product. And how that is done will affect how every customer actually experiences it. This is not like microcredit, where the company, the firm, has to trust the low-income person to pay them back. In microinsurance, the low-income person has to trust the company to respond after they've paid. I mean, it's the low-income person who pays the premium up front. And this, of course, requires a great deal of trust. Faisal here, who had broken his leg, but without insurance, this meant that he delayed treatment, he lost 8 months of wages, and the cost of fixing the leg required that he take out a loan from a microlender, that he dipped into savings, that he had an advance from his son's employer, and that he called upon relatives. I think anybody who works in microinsurance has got to be a bit of an optimist, because the need is so tremendous. The risk that low-income families carry on their own balance sheets presently, it's insufferable. It really puts them in a large disadvantage over time. And so insurance is going to work with the poor. It's a matter of finding the right changes, the right innovations, the right operational efficiencies, and of course the right distribution in order to make sure it happens as quickly as possible.
I think the speech of today was interesting for me, just to see how it's happening in other parts of the world. Because if you want to apply some project in your geographical area, then you can use this experience.
It's the third time that I come to a Microfinance Lunch Break, and I keep coming because I think it's very interesting. Well, it's a way of updating my knowledge, because we have projects dealing with microfinance, microinsurance.
It's good food for thought for us to develop new approaches and to try to increase the number of people who enroll in health insurance.
The public also is mixed. Lots of financial institutions, lots of university and academia as well. So to me, it is a slightly different audience, and the questions are different from what I usually hear, and this is very good and refreshing.
Well, I think it's a good formula, so there's no need to change it as yet. I think it's a formula that still has a lot of life in it, and I look forward to participating in many future sessions.
It is the 7th time that the number of people who assist at these microfinance lunch breaks is still increasing, so this means that it really has a role to play, and I'm very happy that we can continue with these microfinance lunch breaks for the future, because it's really a creating of awareness between people who normally aren't day-to-day directly interested or involved in these businesses.